The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is probably the most famous racetrack in the world. From Topeka to Timbuktu, pretty much everybody on the face of the earth knows about the Brickyard. It was built in 1909, and the first 500-mile race was held in 1911. In 2000, the Speedway became the new home of the United States Grand Prix. NASCAR came to Indy in 1994, and since then, the Brickyard 400 has become one of the most important races on the calendar. Indianapolis is 2.5 miles long, and each of its 4 corners has only 9 degrees of banking. For the most part, it's a single groove racetrack, so you want a car that'll stick low in the turns. At the same time though, Indy's got 2 very long straights, so you also want a car that's fast in a straight line. You'll want to try to maximize your exit speeds coming off of turn 2 and 4 so that you can pass on the long straights. But at Indy, let me tell you, that's easier said than done. Because if you're right on someone's tail going into the corner here, you'll get what we call that dreaded arrow push on your car. The arrow push takes the downforce off the front of the car, and that makes it tough to take the proper line through the corner. Because passing is so tough here, don't be afraid to gamble in the pits and take 2 tires instead of 4 so you can gain track position. One more thing, when you're leaving the pits, be sure to stay on the pit exit road all the way through turns 1 and 2. And don't merge until the back straight. Otherwise, you'll be penalized. Okay, it's time to get in the car and check out the Brickyard. You're running 190 miles an hour as you cross the start-finish line. Maintain full throttle until you reach the groove, which is between the number 1 and number 2 braking markers on the right. Roll out of the throttle and immediately apply about 1/4 brake to set and slow the car down for turn 1. Work toward the apron line so that your left side tires are just barely over it. You should drop to about 155 here. Through the turn, work your way back up to full throttle and keep it there as you go through the south chute. As you hit the groove entering turn 2, you'll be going around 170. At the beginning of the groove, roll out of the throttle just enough to maintain about 155. And start working the car back down to the white line, getting the left side tires just over it. Through turn 2, work back up to full throttle and let the car drift out to the wall as you hit the back straight at over 160 miles an hour. Stay at full throttle all the way down the back straight until you get to the groove. Again, it's between the number 2 and number 1 markers on the right. You'll top out at 195 or so when you roll out of the throttle and apply 1/4 brake to set and slow the car for turn 3. Again, work toward the apron and get the left side tires just over the line. You'll drop to about 155 again. Through turn 3, work back to full throttle and keep it there as you go through the north chute. When you get to the groove entering turn 4, roll out of the throttle enough so that you can get the car back down to the apron line. Once the car is settled, bring it back to full throttle as you exit 4. The car will drift out to the front stretch wall, and you should see an exit speed of at least 160. Stay close to the wall down the front stretch as you approach the start-finish line. Let's go around one more time. Good lap time here will be about 52.5 seconds. Once the tires wear, you'll be slower, and you'll have to get more conservative with your throttle and braking points in order to keep the car low in the turns. There is no doubt about it, Indy is a special place. The list of people who have won here is like a who's who of auto racing history. It's the place where legends of the past like Foyt, Unser, Andretti, and Clark are linked to modern racing legends like Earnhardt, Gordon, and Schumacher. So let me ask you, do you have what it takes to add your name to the Indy legacy? It's time to find out.